Let's understand the simulated annealing algorithm. This algorithm has got two major parts. The first one is the outer loop, which systematically reduces the temperature or the parameters which controls the scatter of searching information. So this is the outer loop where you successively keep on reducing the temperature, and as the temperature reduces, the movement of search space or the freedom of search space keeps on shrinking. So that is something which is similar to physical annealing process. The second part is the core or heart of this particular algorithm. So whenever you are set a particular temperature, at that particular temperature, you keep on searching within your search space and you find a number of random points. Whether to select the random point or to reject that point is decided by an inner loop. So this happens at the inside surface. So that is the second part of the algorithm. So this inner loop is the one which decides whatever point has been put forward, whether to accept it or to reject it will be taken by the inner loop. Let's understand how this process works. So here you initially set a temperature. How to choose an initial temperature? There are some guidelines which we'll visit at the end of this session. Once you have chosen the initial temperature, so that is the first step. So for visualization purpose, let me draw a two variable function x1 and x2, and let's say this is the feasible space inside which we are searching. So you choose an initial point, that is x0, and an initial temperature T. So T is the initial temperature. So that is you initially set at a high level. So as we said earlier, at high level, like the physical material, the movement of molecules is faster and wider. In this case also, the scatter of search space, the scatter of search variables within the search space will be wider. The next step is, once you have chosen the temperature, you select a random point which is in the neighborhood of the initial point. So you will use some algorithm. That algorithm is not critical. You can use any algorithm to choose a point x1 which is at a particular distance from the first point. Once you have decided this second point, we have to decide whether this chosen point, the randomly chosen point, is acceptable or not acceptable. So that is what is done in the loop which is shown here. So this loop decides whether to accept this point or to reject this point. It is done as per the criteria which is known as Metropolis criteria. It is named after the researcher who has developed this criteria. In this particular criteria, the first check is done that with respect to this new point, x1 point, you compare the energies of the new point and the old point. So here, remember that the energy is nothing but the objective function value. So you check whether the new function has got a lower objective function value or higher objective function value. So that is what you are checking here. So this delta E is the change in energy level of the new point with respect to old point. Now consider that whatever new point you have selected, the energy value has come down or the objective function value has come down. So if it is a minimization problem, obviously this is good thing that your new point is having lesser objective function value or lesser energy value. So if the new function is having a value which is smaller than the earlier one, that will give us delta E equal to negative value, less than 0 value. In that case, that point will be selected. So this is an obvious thing. So there is nothing new in this particular case. So that will happen in the conventional routine also. What is speciality of simulated annealing is the next part. So even if the energy value is not smaller, or the new point is having higher energy values, which is what we don't want. But if it happens, this particular algorithm allows you to select that value at a particular probability as per some probability function. That particular probability function is what is known as Boltzmann probability distribution function. So it is selected as per a Boltzmann probability distribution function. That function is, I will just write it for your sake, it gives e raised to minus delta E divided by k times t. So this is the actual Boltzmann probability function. It is based on the thermodynamic equilibrium equation, and here the k is known as Boltzmann constant. However, for our discussion purpose, this constant is not required in our analysis. So if you look at the probability function written in the flowchart, the k or the Boltzmann constant is not there, because we are not dealing here with real energy and real temperatures. They are just analogous quantities for us. However, we see here that this particular probability function is depending on the value of delta E and the value of T, that is the temperature. So let me just write this in more clear fashion. So we are having the function which is e raised to minus delta E divided by temperature. Now look at this particular function. You will find that if t is high, so if I consider t is high, you will find that the exponent value, that is delta E by t value, will be small. So for example, if you consider this as e raised to minus 0.01, just as an example. So if t is high, this probability function, it will tend to the value of 1. So the exponent will tend to 0. As t becomes higher, the exponent will tend to 0 and your probability value become 1. Now the criteria of whether to select the point which is having a higher energy value is as given below. So on the right hand side of the selection criteria, you have the Boltzmann probability function. On the left hand side, you have a random number which is chosen in the range 0 to 1. So this R is in the range of 0 to 1. And on the right hand side, we have a function which depends on the temperature. So as I just now discussed, if t is high, which is the case in the initial part of this algorithm, the right hand side will tend to 1. So if t is high, the right hand will be equal to 1 and the left hand side will be anything between 0 to 1. And the criteria is if R, that is the left hand side, is smaller than the right hand side, then you select that point. That means you allow that point to be your minima point, even if it has got higher energy value. So when temperature is high, the right hand side will be tending to 1, and since left hand side is between 0 to 1, you will always, the initial, when temperature is high, any point that you are choosing will have high probability of getting selected. So which means that at the beginning of this algorithm, whatever point you choose, whether close to the point or far away from the point, so this x1 is close to x0 or it is very far off from x0, in both cases, through the Metropolis criteria and the specific probability distribution function, this point will get selected. That means it will be a candidate minima point, and its function will be stored as a possible minimum point. Now once you get the first point, you search for another point, then for third point, and so on. You continue at that temperature. You take certain number of runs which is governed by the parameter which is Tmax. So this indicates how many number of iterations you will be doing at a particular temperature. So at a specific temperature, at the first run, let's say if Tmax is 50, Tmax will always remain 50. So for the first run, you will check 50 times. You will choose 50 different points and find out which is at every successive run, you will find at the 50th run, whatever value of point you are getting, that will be treated as the minimum point. Now since, as we have seen, if T is high, any point, whether it is close to initial point or away from the initial point, is acceptable. And since we are choosing these points randomly, we will be searching the entire search space in this particular option. Now let's see, after 50 number of iterations or Tmax number of iterations, you will find a new point which is the candidate for minima. So at this juncture, once T has exceeded Tmax, that is, you have exceeded the number of iterations for a particular temperature, you will lower the T as per something which is known as cooling schedule. So depending on your nature of problem, different cooling schedules will be selected. So you will be successively in each cycle, you will be keep on reducing the temperature value. Let's see what happens to the probability function with respect to this temperature. So instead of T being high, now what we'll have is, we'll have the T value which is now low. So we have this T value is low. So as a result of this, the exponent value will be high. So you will get the exponent value as e raised to minus some high number. For example, e raised to minus 100. So as you can see, with for very low values of T, this particular right hand side of the Metropolis criteria or the Boltzmann constant, it will tend to 0. So earlier it was tending to 1 for higher T. For lower values of T, it is tending to 0. So now you will find that this particular value will tend to 0 for lower T's. So at towards the end of this particular annealing cycle, you will find that the right hand side will tend to 0. The left hand side will still be between 0 to 1. So as a result of this, towards the end of this cycle, the probability of a far off point getting accepted, it diminishes, since we are not allowing any point which is far off. So here the far off and near off is decided by delta E. So if delta E is high, its probability of getting selected, it gets reduced because the right hand side is becoming smaller and smaller. So as a result of this, towards the end of the annealing cycle, you will find that you will be having a narrower and narrower zone. So instead of searching the entire space, you will be searching a narrow space around your the guess point or the seed point at that particular point of time. So in this way, this particular algorithm ensures that at the initial state, you will be searching a wider part of your search domain. So there is, because you are searching a lot of scattered points, you are likely to find the global minima which may be hidden somewhere in your entire search space. Once in the initial cycles you have got idea about the distribution of your objective function, as you start towards the end of this algorithm where the temperature reduces, the probability of finding a point which is far off from the whatever minima you have found keeps on decreasing. So as a result of this, towards the end you will always be attracted towards the minima point. It may not be always global minima. There are probabilistically or by experiments, by proper tuning of the parameters, you can make this algorithm to converge towards the global minima for your class of problem. The other points which I did not discuss in this algorithm, they are simply the termination criteria, that is when to terminate is decided by the values of new point and old point. So if the new point and old point are very close to each other and the temperature is very small, so in that case you terminate. So that is how the termination of this particular algorithm is decided. So this gives you an idea about how the simulated annealing algorithm works. Having seen the algorithm, now we will see how this algorithm is getting implemented to solve a non-linear problem. So again, we will take an illustrative example that will show how this implementation is done.